Good evening, everyone. Welcome po sa ating Numerical Reasoning Diagnostic Test Discussion Part 1. Please hold on for a bit, and we will start in a few more minutes. We'll just wait for everyone else to start joining us here in our session for Numerical Reasoning Review. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet to our group, please do share and subscribe to our Facebook group as well as in our YouTube groups if you are viewing from whichever. Also, while we are waiting for us to start, I'm inviting everyone to please share your location here in our comment section. Pa-share naman po kung saan from where po kayo tonight joining us here in our review for numerical reasoning. So we have here, so far, meron na po tayong I think from UAE, ayan. Good evening po ulit sa lahat. Meron din po tayo from Pasay City. Ayan. Congratulations po sa mga LPT na. Kakalabas lang po ng result. Ayan. You also have from Cagayan Valley. So once again, sa mga kaka-join pa lang po, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe or heart our Facebook and YouTube groups. Also, if you could, you can also share some stars to show your love for this Gurong Pinoy po na ating review. So we also have here from Marikina, Bicol, San Mateo, Rizal. And then, marami pa ba? Valenzuela, Tarlac, ayan. Imus, Cavite, okay. Okay, Occidental Mindoro, okay, Sarangani. From Sulu. Congratulations po ulit sa mga nakapasa na sa ating licensure examination for teachers. Welcome to the club po ng mga LPT. So just to share, total hindi pa naman po tayo makakapag-start. I also was a part of the LPT na review when I took my licensure examination for teachers 2018. Ayan po. Good evening from Bukidnon, Pampanga, Pangasinan. Ayan. March Taker, Samar, and Makati. North Cotabato. Good to know na medyo marami na rin yung mga lugar na nararating natin. So, we're so excited, right? To begin. Next journey naman. So, ayun, from Iloilo. So, for those of you who are still in the process of getting registered or in the process pala of registering for taking the examination, we would like to recommend that if you could, why not take both the licensure examination for teachers and civil service examination at the same time? Kasi yung coverage sa mga general education are practically the same. In fact, for tonight, I think we have reviewers from both civil service exam and for licensure examination for teachers because again, yung general education na topics are just the same. And also, it would help para isang review na lang. Okay, so we will begin in 2 minutes. Hello po ulit sa mga kaka-join lang from Davao. So Oliver, thank you po. We also have from Cotabato. Ayan, good evening po ulit sa lahat. So once again, inviting everyone, please tag everyone else na alam niyo kuha po ng examination, whether LET or civil service exam. Please invite the people you know who are going to take the examination to please join us here kasi yung review po na ito ay makakatulong rin for us to get better results in the actual examination. Ayan, from Bohol, Davao Oriental. Just a little bit of um, ayan, from Malvar, Batangas. Okay, so I believe time check it's 7:05, so I believe we could start right now. So once again, good evening everyone, especially to those who are taking the examination for the civil service and for the licensure examination for teachers. And of course, congratulations po for those who have just taken and passed our licensure examination for teachers. So for tonight, welcome once again. We are here to discuss numerical reasoning as part of your diagnostic test discussion. This is part 1. So, hahatiin po natin yung discussion natin into 2 parts in order for us to have deeper discussion of the coverage. So, pwedeng sumali? Yes po. For those who would like to inquire on how to be part of certain groups also, because at some point, limited na po yung review natin if you're not part of the Gurong Pinoy na groups. So we would invite you to just directly message the Gurong Pinoy Facebook and inquire on how to be part of various teams, whether you're taking the civil service examination or the licensure examination for teachers, para naman po you will get the complete package when you're trying to review. Medyo limited po kasi yung reviews natin. Some of them are not free. So this one I believe is available po sa lahat. Ayan. Sige. So, for tonight's discussion, we are going to cover a few things. But before that, of course, let me introduce myself, especially to those na bago pa lang po dito. Magandang gabi po sa lahat. I am Coach Faye, and I am a DOST-SCI scholar from Philippine Science High School, Western Visayas Campus, and in my undergraduate degree. So my undergraduate degree po is Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics, and I graduated magna cum laude. I also finished my Master of Arts in Mathematics. Both po yun, I graduate po ako ng West Visayas State University. I also took up Teacher Certificate Program from University of Iloilo FINMA. Wala po kasi akong education units. So actually, when I did that, when I took the exam, after I took the Teacher Certificate Program sa UI, I actually enrolled po dito sa Gurong Pinoy as a part of the groups for taking the licensure examination for teachers. So, naging LPT rin po ako dahil din po sa Gurong Pinoy. So, this is a very personal journey for me. Pero yung civil service examination ko po, I took it when I was undergraduate. Kasi yung civil service, hindi pa po pwede siyang i-take kahit hindi pa po kayo graduate sa college. High school diploma lang sapat na. So you could take it, and I passed nung nag-aaral pa lang po ako. So, a little bit more about me. Your coach, I also have 4 years of government service at DOST 6, 5 years of high school teaching experience at Ateneo de Iloilo, 3 of which as a cluster coordinator. And then I have 2 years of teaching experience at West Visayas State University, this time tertiary level teacher po. So, ayan. So just to get to know you a little bit better. So perhaps you could also share din po aside from sharing from where you are, ano po yung background natin para magkaroon din po ako ng context kung how deep the review should be. Kasi some of you might be very good in math already, or some of you might be coming from a major na medyo malayo sa math, or maybe your course is matagal-tagal na ninyong nakuha. Kasi pag matagal nyo na pong hindi napapag-aralan ng isang bagay, it's going to be difficult when you're actually taking the examination. Math here in civil service examination is actually quite easy. It's basic, kumbaga. However, kahit basic pa yan, but if it's something that you haven't done for quite some time, pag matagal na po kayong graduate at matagal na po kayong hindi nagmamath, malaki pa yung chance na makalimutan ninyo yung mga basic operations, at doon po tayo madadali sa carelessness and forgetting some basic concepts. So that's what we're here for. We are going back from to the basics, and then we are going deeper into the discussion. Ayan. So for those asking about the LET, please do inquire po sa ating Facebook group para po kuha tayo ng complete details about the schedule. You can also check out the group mismo, the Facebook page mismo, kasi may mga schedule na po doon ng ating LET. If you are part, Sir Denzel, if you are part of the groups, then pwede po kayong magkaroon ng access dito. So kapag free viewing lang po tayo, nandyan naman po siya doon sa ating Facebook page. Ano po? Sige. So without further ado, this is our schedule. This is just for the mathematics schedule, okay? Yung civil service review po natin is continuous siya on weekends, right? So Saturday, Sunday, continuous po yung schedule. This one po is specifically for mathematics. So for mathematics, tonight we're having our first diagnostic test review. We will continue po doon sa Sabado po, this Saturday, May 27. And then starting June, yung review po natin, after po ng sa atin sa Sabado, you're going to discuss also yung other parts of the diagnostic test with other coaches, yung different subjects naman po. And then you're going to be joining me with June 10 and June 17. That's 2 separate weekends. We will be covering patterns and basic operations. I believe yung other day po niyan is you're going to discuss with Coach Sha for the English coverage. Ayan po. And then on June 24 and July 1, these two sessions, magpo-focus tayo on multiple choice type problems para mas prepared tayo on taking the exam. While yung June 10 tsaka June 17 natin ay medyo deeper into the concepts. And yung June 24 and July 1 is more into taking the exam. And then, after that, may schedule po kayo to take the mock test. And then on July 30 and August 6, we will again discuss yung coverage natin for the mock test. So for reviewer, please do message our Facebook group. Yung Facebook page po natin, nandoon po yung access natin for materials in LEP review. Ayan. So if meron pa po kayong mga questions or clarifications, please don't hesitate to type them here in our comment section and we will try to answer as much as possible. Ayan. So please do join lang po sa mga groups natin. By the way, gentle reminder po, for your civil service examination and even for the LET, yung Gen Ed po natin, hindi po tayo makakagamit ng calculators. So prepare na po natin yung cells natin and answering these and recall the basic concepts of mathematics nang hindi nangangailangan po ng calculator. Okay po? Sige. So usually they are giving certain instructions such as this, like choose a number of the correct answer. Choose 5 if the answer is not in the choices. Sometimes, it differs din kasi may mga times po that they are giving, ang tawag dito, they are giving 4 choices, sometimes they're giving 5 choices. So sometimes, meron po tayong choose 5 if the answer is not in the choices. Ayan. Sa gusto pong mag-join, please do message us in our Facebook page, Gurong Pinoy Facebook page, para po maging complete po yung joining ninyo. Kasi hindi po lahat ng materials ay ibibigay freely doon sa ating Facebook review. Ayan. Again, like, share, and video mga kaguro. And also, please, message lang directly kung about po sa joining. Ayan. So, we will now cover some items that we had during our diagnostic test. So, the very first item po na numerical reasoning doon sa ating diagnostic test is yung LCD. So, what is the LCD of 2/5 and 4/3? I would like to invite our joiners here, our reviewers here. Pwede niyo po bang i-share ang inyong answer for item number 1? Please just type the number of your choice, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So, pakitype po ng answer ninyo para makita po natin and then we will discuss the answer. Thank you po, Sir Patrick. Yes po, join po kayo. Paki-answer po yung number ng choice like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Ayan. Sige, so quite a lot of you is already answering number 2. So, ano po ito? LCD of 2/5 and 4/3. When we discuss LCD po, that's the least common denominator. So, you're just looking for the denominator na least, mababa, pero common sa kanilang dalawa. So, how do we get this? Your denominators here are, sandali lang po. Your denominators here are 5 and then 3. So, 5 and 3. Yung 5 and 3 po na yan, they don't have any common factors, right? So, wala namang pong common sa kanila. So, you can safely do operations with them. So, since walang common factor, we can directly multiply 5 times 3, and that will give us 15, which is item number 2. Ayan. So when you have 5, 3, when you're looking for the least common denominator ng walang common factors, then multiply directly and that will give you the answer. Pero syempre, may mga different na naman na operations if may common factor siya. So let's delve a little bit deeper muna doon sa ating let's review some concepts first. So yung LCM and GCD, good evening po sa mga kaka-join. Ayan, LCM or least common multiple is the smallest possible number on which your given number can be divided from. So halimbawa, yung LCM ng 3 is 3 and 4 is 12. Yung LCM ng 2, 6, and 9 is 18. Ibig sabihin, isa-isa po sa kanila, pwede nyong mag-divide from 12. So each of these can be divided from. So least common multiple from multiple. Ayan po siya. So, iba naman po yung GCD or greatest common divisor. Balik muna po tayo sa LCM. Sometimes yung LCM po, least common multiple, you might also encounter the term na least common denominator. Yan po is if it's being applied to a fraction. So it's still the concept of LCM, but this time may fraction lang siya. So tinawag lang siyang least common denominator. So yung mga ganito po, yung mga 3, 4, 12, those are actually your denominators. If it's fraction form, hindi na LCM yung tawag natin, it's going to be least common denominator. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we have your GCD or greatest common divisor. Greatest, ibig sabihin it's the largest possible number that can divide your given numbers. Halimbawa, if your GCD of 4, 6, and 8, ano ba yung pinakamalaking number na makaka-divide sa kanilang tatlo? So it's going to be 2. And the GCD of 10, 20, 25 is 5. So we have to be careful about our terminologies kasi pag na-confuse po natin siya, we might give the wrong answer during the exam, right? So GCD, sometimes yung term po na ginagamit natin dito is greatest common factor. So pag sinabing least common multiple, least common denominator, they're a little bit similar. It's just that you're dealing with fractions sa isa. And then GCD, greatest common divisor, or GCF, greatest common factor, are just the same thing. Sige. So, halimbawa po, if you have 10, then you can have for your factors or your divisors, ano po yung mga factors or divisors ng 10? So for factors and divisors, pwede po yung 1, 2, 5, and 10 itself. Yung mga pwede mong ma-divide doon sa may 10. Makaka-divide ng 10. But pag sinabi po nating multiple, then it's going to be 10 itself, 20, 30, 40, and so on. Pag divisor factor, it's smaller. Nasa left po siya. Pag multiple, nasa right po siya. Malaki po. Ayan. So I have here, before I proceed to the next item, let's have some additional review topics po para naman ma-refresh yung ating concept for your LCM and GCD. So ano po yung LCM ng 6 and 8? Can we type our answer for question A? Ayan po, this is A. What's your answer po for question A? What's the LCM of 6 and 8? Least common multiple. Multiple po. Can we have more answers, please? By the way, do let me know if you're having trouble with the audio or if parang unclear or if you feel that I'm speaking too fast. Sabihin niyo lang po ako so we can adjust or we can repeat some of the discussions. Ayan, that's great. So it's 24. So madali lang naman yung concept ng LCM. You can just look at the highest number dyan. So the higher number here is 6, 8. So you can look at the factors of multiples of 8. So you have 8. Tapos isa-isahin nyo yun kung pwede rin si 6. 8, hindi pwede si 6. After 8, you have 16. Hindi rin pwede si 6. 24. Ayan, pwede na si 6. So that's your least common multiple. That's it. How about letter B po? So for letter B, what's your LCM for 2, 3, and 6? For letter B, your LCM is... Ayan, so may mga answers na po tayo dito, 24, 12, and 50 for A, B, C. So for letter B, medyo slightly tricky lang po yung letter B. Okay. Ayan, so keep in mind po that your least common multiple, the number itself is a multiple of, well, the number is a multiple of itself. So you look at the largest number here and it's 6. So ano po ba yung multiples ng 6? 6 itself is a multiple of 6. So try natin. 2, pwede. 3, pwede. So ayun na po yung answer natin. It's actually 6 lang. You don't have to go to the next number kasi 6 itself is sufficient. Okay? So, ayan. And this time, let's try item letter C. Ayan po, hala. So, marami po tayo nag-12 sa letter B. Yun po ha, please don't forget that a number is a multiple and a factor of itself. So, 6, divisor tsaka multiple niya or factor din niya yung sarili niya. So, pwede po, i-count po natin always yung number itself. Don't forget that. That's a common misconception. Mga nakakalimutan lang po natin sometimes. How about letter C? It's going to be 50. Ayan. So for letter C, look at the largest number first. As you can see, pwede si 5, pero si 10, hindi. So 25 is not possible. Let's try the next. 25 times 2, that's 50. Pwede si 5, pwede si 50, 10. So ayun na po. Your greatest common LCM here is going to be 50. TikTok, hindi po. We are live in Facebook and YouTube only. Sige po. Okay, let's now cover eto. This is an application of the concept of LCM. So, possibly, baka maka-encounter kayo ng mga ganitong word problems na akala mo komplikado kasi haba-haba. Actually, it's trick lang siya dito sa may item na to. Okay, can we try to look at this item here? This is an extra item. This is not part of your diagnostic test. Pero related lang siya na concept. Kaya I'm covering it. Sandali lang. Let me remove that. Okay. So, can we have more answers, please, for this next item here? Ayan. So, maraming salamat po. Marami po tayong mga testimonies here also in our group chat of those who have been part of the review and have really found out that joining here in Gurong Pinoy had helped him pass, no? So, kailangan po natin kasing sipagan yung pagre-review para po makapasa tayo. Ayan. So, consider the sequences. So, sequence 1 is, as you can see, it's by 5s, 5, 10, 15. And then the second sequence is by 2s. So, you're dealing with 5 and 2. It is observed that 10 is common to both. In fact, it's the first common, right? So, we are looking for the fifth common number. Ano kaya yung ikalima na magiging common sa kanila? So, 10 here is actually their ang tawag dito, least common multiple. But we're looking for the fifth, yung ikalima na common multiple. So it's 10 na yung first. So we know that 10 is the first. The second is going to be 20. The third is going to be 30. The fourth is 40. And so the fifth is going to be 50 po. Ayan. So if you're not familiar with the concept of GCD and LCM, yung tendency mo is, isusulat mo yan lahat, isa-isa, kukumpletuhin mo yan. And then hanapin mo yung ikalimang pareho. So that's not going to be easy. So if you are familiar with the concept of GCD and LCM, medyo madali na lang yung mga ganito. Ayan. Okay lang po kapag hindi natin nakukuha for now. This is just the first day of review in numerical reasoning. Practice lang po yung katapat niyan. Ayan. Good evening po sa mga kaka-join lang sa atin. Let's have another one. This is another word problem na LCM. Amy gets a new manicure every 4 days, while Angela gets a new manicure every week. That's 7 days. If they were on the same salon for a manicure on July 8th, what is the nearest date that they will get a manicure on the same day at the salon? Sir Carr, or Ma'am Carr, this is numerical reasoning. So numerical reasoning both in LET and civil service examination. So hindi po siya specific na subject, part lang po siya ng general test. So Gen Ed po siya kapag LET taker kayo, numerical reasoning siya kapag civil service examination kayo. Similar po kasi ang coverage. Okay? Meron na po ba tayong answer? Date po yung hinahanap natin dito. Car, yes. This is available in our Facebook group. If you are part of the review group, then you will have full access to a lot of our review materials. So inviting everyone na para po kumpleto yung mga videos natin at hindi po nakakat, please do join our review groups. Can we have an answer here in this next problem? Ayan, Mary Jane, August 5 daw po. Huwag po tayong mag-hesitate. Please don't hesitate to try. Keep on trying answering. It doesn't matter if we get some wrong answers once in a while. What matters most is we learn from whatever mistakes that we had so that we're going to improve and then we get better. You don't really get better if you just keep quiet. Ayun lang po. So if you don't ask questions, then hindi po natin masasagot yung mga tinatanong ninyo. Ayan. So we have some conflicting dates there. Common is August 5, August 6. Marami yung August 5 and August 6. Meron din tayong July 15 and August 9. So let's take a closer look at this, right? So we have si Amy every 4 days, while Angela gets her manicure every 7 days, right? So we're looking for days that they will meet again. So we're looking for the next common na multiple or divisor sa kanila. When is 4 and 8, 4 and 7 going to meet again? So we have to look for your least common multiple or your least common na tawag dito na divisor natin dito. So least common na divisor natin, let us check this out. So 4 and 7, when are they going to meet again? 4 and 7, they don't have any common factor. Wala kang madidivide na pareho sa kanila. So you could just multiply them. So this is going to be 28. Ayan. So if it's 28, right? So kung 28 siya, then ibig sabihin, the July 8, we need to add 28 days to that. So that's going to give us July 28 plus 28 days, that's 36. Pero wala pong July 36 sa kalendaryo. How many months are there in July? July has 31 days. So magbawas po tayo ng 31 days. We're going to subtract 31 days and that should give us 5. But that's no longer July. It's going to be August. So the correct answer here is August 5. So the 28 is something that you have to add to the given date. 28, take note, is not yet the answer. That's the date or the number of days that you have to add to the given date where they started. They started July 8. So add 28 days, that's your answer, August 5. So be very careful when you're answering these types of problems. It's not only understanding the problem, but really looking at what we are looking for. If you do not focus on what is unknown, you might give a different answer than what is being asked. So always take a look at the problem. What are the given information? You start with the given. Next is try to analyze on how to solve that problem. Third, formulate your plan, how to solve that problem. And then, of course, take a closer look at what is exactly being asked. Sometimes, yung nakukuha ninyong answer doon sa may solving ninyo is not yet the final answer. You really have to go back to the question to verify what exactly we are looking for, right? And of course, finally, if you have the opportunity, check your answer. Substitute po ninyo balik sa problem just to make sure that you're not making any misconceptions or wrong assumptions. Ayan. Ito naman, this time, let's move further into the LCD, or least common divisor, or least common denominator, or the greatest common divisor. So, tingnan po natin ito. Can we answer the following questions? Let's start with A here, B, and then C. Please do type your answer for the following questions para naman po makita natin yung pace natin ng pa-answering. So I would be able to gauge din po if I'm being too fast or not. So let's look for the least common denominator for the following items. Okay. Right. For letter A po, it's going to be, you need to take a look at the common multiples of or divisors of 6. So, or denominators. Kung 6 siya, ano kaya yung answer na makukuha natin? So, what we have here is 4, 5, and 6. So, you can actually try various multiples. We can focus on the largest number, 6. And then try natin isa-isa to check which is possible. There are also various alternative solutions here. So, let's check. Your answers here are 20, 30, and 60. You can try kung alin po dyan yung possible. So, as you can see, 20 and 30 are actually not possible. So, ito po, ang correct answer here is going to be 60. Personally, how did I get 60? So, one method is, medyo mahaba-haba siya, try yung mga factors ng 6, isa-isa. Or yung multiples of 6 rather. So you could try 12, 18, so on and so forth. Medyo mahaba po siyang process. An alternative process is taking a look at these numbers. So 4, 5, and 6. May common po tayo. Ano po? May common po tayo kay 4 and 6, and that's 2. So you could divide the common number. So 4 times 5 times 6. Divide nyo lang po yung nag-iisang common para hindi po siya dumoble later. So 4 times 5 times 6, and then divide the common na 2, and you will actually still get 60. Ayan. So number or letter B, what is the GCD of 28 and 35? This time you're looking for the greatest common divisor. Yes, Sir Omar, pwede po yung prime factorization. That is personally what I'm using. If we have large numbers, I would prefer prime factorization. Let me show lang po yung prime factorization. I don't do this if the numbers are small. So what's prime factorization? Para lang familiar tayo. 4, 5, and 6. So ano ba yung prime factors of 4? So 2 and 2. When you say prime, these are numbers na there are no more numbers that you can divide from them. Yun na lang talaga. So 2 and 2. For 5, it's 5 and 1. So lagay po natin sa 5 dito. And for 6, it's 2 and 3. So 2, we can put that here kasi align sila dito. They're aligned here. So 2, and then the other one is 3. I'll write 3 here kasi wala siyang kalinya above. I haven't written 3 above. So that's that here. Yung 5 kasi times 1. I will not write 1 anymore. And then, we will try to take a look at what the answers here are. So this is 2 times 2 times 5 times 3. Your answer here is going to be 60. This is personally my preferred method. But if small numbers, usually naghahanap ako ng iba. Ayan. So for letter B, we're looking for the greatest common divisor. Ayan. Marami na po tayong answer. Ayan. So we have answers here from JC, Maricel, Lorly. Right. So this time, our greatest common divisor is indeed 7. So you just look for numbers na pwede nyong i-divide. Ano po yung pinakamalaki doon? So for LCM, multiple or denominator, doon ako tumitingin sa pinakamataas. For the divisor, doon ako tumitingin sa pinakababa. yung 28. Ano yung mga pwede mong ma-divide from 28 na pwede rin kay 35? And for letter C, how about letter C po? Ay, Domingo, yes. Sir, ano po, divisor po tayo, hindi na po tayo multiple. Ayan. So, let's look for pag nakita niyo po yung L, it's least. So, you expect something smaller or equal to the number. Pag nakita niyo po yung G, it means greatest. So, expect something larger or maybe equal din doon sa number. So, for letter C, the correct answer is, anong number pwede natin ma-divide from all of these? It's going to be, ayan, I think some of you got the correct answer already. Ma'am Riza and Laurelie, Sir Joseph, yes, it's going to be 13. Ayan. Sige. Let's try the next item, please. Yung number 82 po natin, ano po yung answer natin dito? 80% of 72 is equal to 60% of something. Ayan. So, this type of problem involves your percentage, right? So, before we fully answer this problem, balik po tayo doon sa concept natin dito. So, am I missing some comments? Ayan. Ayan. So, balik po tayo dun sa percentage na concept. So, yung percentage concept po natin, we have your rate, which is the percent or the ratio. So, it's usually in percent form or also in decimal form. So, pwede siyang in percent form or decimal form. So, usually that's your rate. When you say base, that's the amount you're taking the percent of. So, your base, yung starting point mo. While your percentage is actually the result, the number that you get. It's not in percent form. It's an actual number. So, when you say 40% of 60 is 24, then 40%, it's in percentage. Rate form po siya. That's your rate. Okay? Of 60. So, of 60. Of usually is a good indicator kung alin yung base mo. That's your base. It means that's the number that you're starting off with. That's the original number, your base. And then finally, 24, the answer, the rate base of something, this is going to be your percentage. Oops, sorry. So this is going to be your, hindi yan po, gumalaw po siya. Base. 24 on the other hand is your percentage. Wag po tayong common misconception here is we think that pag sinabing percentage, naka-percent form siya. No, that's your rate. Percentage is the answer that you get. So, don't forget lang po yung ating triangle here that will help us in solving this. It's your PBR. I think I saw this kanina sa isa sa mga answer natin dito. Meron tayong percentage, base, and rate. Thank you po, Ma'am Carr. So PBR, what does this mean? It means na if you're looking for your percentage, then your computation is B times R. Because your BR, magkatabi sila sa baba. If you're looking for your base, it means that your computation is P over R because P is above R doon sa triangle. And if you're looking for the rate, then your computation is P over B because P nasa taas siya ni B. So this triangle can help you in computation in order for us to recall yung ating equations easily. So this is what I tend to do when I have to memorize certain equations like distance time, ganyan, or percentage rate. So I would always just try to recall yung fraction po natin, yung triangle natin na to. Some of you na medyo advanced po, pasensya na, you might think na medyo basic, pero kailangan po kasi nating balikan yung basic sometimes. Kasi no matter how long we've been doing something, if matagal na rin po tayo nagsiskip ng certain things, kahit basic po siya, nakakalimutan po natin. So it's always good to go back to the basics just to make sure that we are not forgetting anything important. Please do try to type your answer here in the comments dito sa ABC po natin. Okay. So, pasensya na, medyo trick question ito. Yung letter A po, ano po yung 25% ng 100 po? So, you have PBR. O, sulat ko na lang po yung triangle para hindi natin makalimutan. Ayan. So, let's have your PBR here. You have your P sa taas, B, and then R. So, what is 25%? Ayan. May percentage siya or decimal. This is going to be your R. May of. So, this is going to be your base. So, the equation here is, hinahanap natin si percentage. P is equal to B times R. This is a trick question. This is 100 times 0.25. That's 25%. The answer is 25 po. Ayan. And then, okay. So, careful tayo. Letter B, ayan. Marami rin answer sa letter B. I guess we can proceed with that also. So, let's identify parts also. Pag nakita niyo yung percentage, yung percent na yan, that's already your R. Of, ayan. So, that's going to be your base. So, P is, multiply lang natin siya. P is BR. So, that is, base is 200 times 0.6. And that is going to give you 120. Okay. And then finally, let's have your letter C. What's your letter C? X is 40% of 32. So what is X? Okay, I'm having some different answers here in letter C. I think nakalimot po ng decimal yung iba. Sige. What's the answer here? So, let's identify the parts first. 40, meron tayong percent dyan. So, it's going to be a rate. Sorry, I used the wrong color. This is going to be a rate. Of 32, this is going to be your base. So, you're looking for the X, which is still your percentage. So, P is equal to BR pa rin po. So, that is 32 times 0.4, which is actually 12.8. So some of you, I think, assumed that 32 is yung percentage and we're looking for the base. So if base po yung anon, indeed magiging 80 po siya. But that's not the question. Okay? Sige. So this one is 12.8. Now, balikan na po natin yung 82. Paki-type na po ng answer natin dito. What if po yung 0 is nasa gitna ng given 3 digits for base? Paano po kukunin yung percentage? So, still ganun po. Multiply lang po siya. Sir Domingo, multiply lang po siya. Kahit 3 digits po yung base nyo, you really have to multiply it. Okay, so for number 82, ayan. So for number 82, we're looking for 80% of 72. This is 80% of 72. This is your percentage, or this is your rate of 72. So this is your base. And what is that? So, as you know, P dito is BR. So this is 72 times 0.8. And this gives us, ano po yung answer natin dito? This gives us 57.6 is equal to 60% of blank. So this is your, sa second level of equation natin, this is your rate. And then, this is still your, ano na siya? This is still your percentage, right? Percentage pa rin po siya of something. This time, you're looking for the base. So, sa second level of equation natin, base na naman po yung hahanapin natin. Tandaan natin na sa PBR, nasa baba po si base. So, the equation for base is P over R. So, what we have here is 57.6 divided by 0.6, which should give us, ayun na po. What's your answer here? Oh, I'm receiving some different answers. So the correct answer here is 93 po, and that is indeed, 96 po. 96, and that is indeed item 3 or option 3. Ayan. You have to practice ulit yung mga long division, mga multiplication, and other basic operations. Kasi sometimes, if nasasanay po tayong may calculator, naku po, mahirap po siya. So that is something I had to go back to as well, something I had to review as well. Kasi nasanay rin po akong may calculator. So when I actually took the LET, and I had to, and when I took the CSE for myself, I also had to review really hard. Practice ulit na walang calculator. Mabuhay ng walang gadget. Ayan. So for item number 83, if the following quantities were arranged from least to greatest, which one would have the second greatest value? So what we have to do is arrange them and then look for whichever will have the second greatest value, least to greatest. So can we see your answers, please? We're still alive. Ayan. Right. So let's take a look at your answers now. We have 1, 2, and 3. Right. So how do we arrange this? Let us first try to get the lowest terms nila para mas madali po silang i-compare if you could see them everything clearly. So may dalawang options po kayo dito. You could arrange them to have the same denominator, or in my case, what I do is I just try to get the lowest terms. Pwede rin po yun. So first, I want to try the lowest terms. Why? Because I will have a difficult time trying to arrange them with the same denominator kasi yung isa 10. So parang medyo mahirap siyang mag-same denominator. I'll try muna yung lowest terms muna. So if I will convert them to their lowest terms, number 1 is equal to 1 half. Kasi 6 over 12. If you divide both by 6, you will get 1 half. And then the second one, wala siyang lowest terms. It's already itself, so 5 over 12. And then the third one, this is going to be divided by 2. Both are divisible by 2, so that's 2/5. And then the last one is still itself 3/4. And then we try to arrange because we want to arrange from the least to the greatest, and we're looking for the second greatest value. So yung second na pinakamalaki. So as you can see, what I would just like to see here is alin yung 1 half and greater than 1 half. Obviously, 3/4 is pinakamalaki because it's more than 1 half. Your 2/5 is less than 1 half kasi 2 over 5 siya. So, less than 1 half yan. Kasi pag nag-times 2 ka sa taas, mas malaki pa rin yung denominator mo. Your 5/12 is also less than 1 half. Pag nag-times 2 ka sa 5, it's still less than 12. So, ito lang, yung greater than 1 half. That's my greatest. But we're looking for the second greatest. So, Your next greatest here is, after 34, 3/4 is going to be 1/2. Kasi it's the second, after kung wala na si 3/4, that's your second greatest. So, the correct answer here is going to be 1. Ayan. So, you don't have to look na kung alin yung mas malaki kay 410 tsaka kay 512 kasi hinahanap lang naman natin second greatest. Ayan. When answering po your exam, civil service examination, you don't have to completely answer the problem kasi time-based po tayo. We have other questions, other subjects to answer, other topics. So whichever gives you the best and the fastest answer, yun na lang po. Wag na po nating i-overcomplicate. Ayan. So ito po, let's have item number 84. So for item number 84, what is 107 minus negative 17? So for this one po, this is more on basic operations. In the next few days, or in the next few sessions, babalik po tayo sa basic operations, addition, subtraction, division, and especially yung PEMDAS. Ano po? Kasi PEMDAS can be a little bit confusing sometimes. So we will have a more in-depth review of PEMDAS perhaps in the third session natin. Para lang po ma-practice natin siya. Okay, so the answer here is 84. I'm receiving different answers. Ayan. So, what happens here is 107 minus negative 17. Whenever you see double negative, pag magkatabi na yung negative, it becomes a plus, right? Because if you have a negative sign outside the parenthesis, then what happens is every sign inside the parenthesis changes, right? So if you apply the negative sign from the outside the parenthesis, everything else changes. Okay? So everything changes outside of your or inside of your parenthesis. So the correct answer here would be, kasi nagiging plus siya, magiging 107 plus 17, and you will eventually get 124. Right? So ito, let's have some additional items for review po. How about, try po natin yung 107 minus 17. Try din natin ang negative 107 plus 17. And finally, negative 107 minus 17. Ayan. Para po ma-review natin, mahasa po natin yung skills natin. Ma'am Adriel, how to avail? Please do message us directly in our Facebook group para po magka-access po tayo sa more na review items. The first few ones are free, but eventually we will constrain the review to those who are part po of the group. So if I were you, please do be a part of our review groups by messaging directly sa Gurong Pinoy na Facebook page. Ayan. So for letter A, okay. Okay, so what you have to remember lang naman is this. This is what I use as a shortcut. If I am combining different numbers, I will subtract. If the same values, if I have different signs, like for example, if it's plus minus or minus and plus, I will subtract. If I have the same signs like plus plus or minus minus, then I will add. And then, follow the sign of the larger digit. Whichever is a larger digit, yun yung sign na susundin natin. So in letter A here, you have a positive first digit and then negative yung second digit mo. So what you're going to do is to subtract kasi magkaiba, and that is 90. And then follow the sign of the larger digit, positive siya, so my 90 is going to be positive. In the second item naman, letter B, different din siya, negative tsaka positive. So I have to subtract, right? So I will subtract and the answer here is 90. However, my larger digit, 107, is negative. I will follow that sign. Ayan po. And the next one, letter C, negative 107 and negative 17, they're the same. Pareho silang negative. So I have to add. And that is 124. Look at your larger digit. It's negative. So, I'll follow the sign of the larger digit. So, kaunting review lang po sa ating basic operations. Madali lang po siya, basic po siya, pero pag nakakalimutan po natin yung concepts, pwede po siyang maging cause ng error natin later, right? So now let us take a look at this. Again, sa mga kaka-join lang po, if you want to have complete access to all of our review materials, sometimes, sign hindi sinama operation dapat. Okay, kapag same sign, kapag same sign, you have to add. Ayan. So if you, again, sa mga gusto po maging part fully ng ating discussion to have advanced copy of the questions, for example, we give advanced copy of the questions po para mas mabilis tayo during the review. If you want that and you have complete access to all of the videos, then please be a part of our Facebook groups. Please message us directly into the Facebook group of Gurong Pinoy and then ask how to join po. And then, dyan po, you can be a member of our reviews. For the first few sessions po, free po lahat yung mga video natin. Pero sa mga succeeding po na mga sessions, part na lang po, hindi na po siya kompleto. So, sayang naman po. Ayan, item number 85. What we have here is, okay, we want to check which is the same as that. So, unahin po natin yung 6/8. 6/8, let's try that into lower terms. So, 6/8 is also the same as, divisible siya by 2, both of them. So, it's going to be, kapalan natin ng kaunti yung marker natin. Sandali. Okay. So, this is going to be, let me try, 3 over 4. Right? 3/4 siya. So, ibig sabihin, I can now remove this. Hindi na 1/2. So, eliminate ko na yung mga hindi pwede. Okay. Next item is plus. So, itong dalawa na lang pagpipilian ko. Tama yung una, tama yung una. Ito, yung 2.5 tsaka 5/2, pareho lang naman, di ba? So, I will not look at that anymore kasi pareho siya. So, dito na lang ako titingin sa last. So, tama to siguro kasi pareho sila. Dito na lang ako titingin sa last. 4/12. So, divide with the common factor nila, which is 4. This is going to be divided by 4/1, divided by 4/3. So, ayun. The correct answer is this one. It's 4. So if you're trying to answer multiple choice, sometimes you can do elimination. Remove the ones that are not possible. Para konti na lang yung choices mo. And then it's easier for you to see the differences that way. As you can see, I did not solve the entire problem fully. Kasi na-eliminate ko na yung mga bawal and nakita ko na yung mga pareho. Okay, by the way, a summary of our answer so far. So number 81 is 2. Number 82 is 3, number 83 is 1, number 84 is 3, and number 85 is 4. Para po sa mga naka-solve na ng diagnostic test natin earlier. Okay. Now let's have your item number 86. This time we have 5 choices po tayo dito. Sa mga kaka-join lang po, whoever wants to be part of our whoever wants to be a part of our group, please message us directly sa Facebook page po ng Gurong Pinoy. Why 3/4? Ano pa yung answer natin dito? 3/4. Okay. Ma'am Mary Grace, tinatanong po ninyo kung bakit 3/4. Yung 6/8 po, yung ibang sumasagot, just keep on answering. Yung 6/8 po kanina, divisible po sa 2, divisible sa 2. So this becomes 3/4. Yun po yung kailangan, naging ano siya. Ayan, Ma'am Rachel, to enroll po kay Ma'am Meg, please message us sa ating Facebook group page. Direct message po, direct message. Sige. So let us try na this one. The numerator of a fraction is 4 less than its denominator. If added 3 to both the numerator and denominator, the resulting number is 3/4. What is the original number? So we're looking for the original number here, and ito po siya. The numerator of a fraction is 4 less than its denominator. It means your numerator is smaller by 4 digits compared to your, by 4 numbers compared to your denominator. So let's check first. Alin ba dito yung mga 4 less? So as you can see, yung number 1, 8/14. 6 po yung pinagkaiba kasi 14 minus 8 is 6. Ayan, so remove. Yung number 2, 9 12s, 3 lang yung pinagkaiba, remove. Yung 3, 10, tsaka 12, ay, 2 digits, 2 numbers lang, remove. Eto, 9 and 13, 4, baka pwede. Number 5, 10 and 13, ay, 3 numbers, remove. So, I don't have any other choice but 4. Try lang natin, kumplituhin lang natin siya, kasi what if walang sagot, di ba? If 3 is added to both the numerator and the denominator, the resulting number is 3/4. Try natin. So, 9 plus 3, so mag-plus 3 tayo. This gives us 12 over 16. Is it 3/4? If you try to divide both of them by 4, it will indeed give you 3/4. So, tama po siya. The correct answer here is 3, 9 over 13. Tama ba? If 3 is added. Ayan. Sige. So, we have a few na nag-answer ng 9 over 12. 4 less. Okay. Bakit kaya? Bakit kaya? Or maybe I'm looking at the previous item. Pag nag-plus 3 tayo sa kanila. Oh, ba't maraming nag-2? Baka sa previous item to, ano? Would you like to repeat yung number 86 po? Kasi parang medyo magkakaiba po yung answer natin. Ayan. Okay, let me repeat this. Sandali. Take 2 tayo, take 2. Sige. So the question here is, the numerator of a fraction is 4 less than its denominator. So mas mababa siya ng 4 units, right? 4 units. So dapat daw, kung isubtract mo yung denominator minus your numerator, dapat yung answer mo is 4, right? Ito yung question. The numerator, that's the first part. The numerator of fraction is 4 less than its denominator. So yung numerator, tsaka yung denominator, pag nag-subtract ka, dapat 4 yung answer. So ito po siya. Yung answer po dito, pag nag-subtract po ako, this one is 14 minus 8 is 6, which makes it the wrong answer. The second, 19 minus 12, 19, that's 12 minus 9. The answer is 3. Which makes it the wrong answer. Kasi diba, 12 minus 9 is 3. And then next is number 3, option 3, 12 minus 10, that's 2. So mali rin siya. Next is 13 minus 9, that's 4. 4 less, so possible siya. Then yung number 5 natin, 10 over 13, 13 minus 10 is 3. So mali din siya. Right? And then ito na po yung tinatanong ni Ma'am Malu, bakit mo nag-addition ng 3? If 3 is added, ayan. If 3 is added to both the numerator and the denominator, the resulting number is 34. So, isa na lang yung option natin dito actually. Si number 4 na lang, right? So, try natin mag-add ng 3 kung ano yung result niya. Is it going to be 3/4? So, try natin. So, 9 plus 3, 9 over 13 yan, di ba? So, plus 3 daw tayo to both the numerator and the denominator. Your answer would be 12. And then here, 13 and 3, 16. If you convert sa lowest term, di ba divide lang natin yan sa 4? Kasi both 12 and 16 are divisible by 4. So, 12 divided by 4 is 3. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So, ayan, 3/4. Kapareho na siya dito. Which means that indeed, item 4 is our correct answer. Ayan. So, yan po nating mag-percolate yung idea sa atin. That is how you answer that item. Okay? Do we still have more clarifications on this? Okay, ayan. So, pakisave po if you want. Take a screenshot of this para po mabalikan niyo pa po later. Ano po? Sige. Let's try item number 87. Ayan, okay na. Which of the following statements is true? If a number is divisible by 5, then it is divisible by 10. If a number is divisible by 10, then it is divisible by 5. If a number is divisible by 3, then it's divisible by 6. And if a number is divisible by 4, then it is divisible by 8. Ayan, marami nag-answer na. So actually, if you just look at the question or look at your choices, ito yung technique ko minsan pa nag-answer po ako ng multiple choice. Sometimes I look at the choices, whichever is stated a little bit differently than the others might be the answer. So tingnan po ninyo, the way they phrase the choices. By the way, this was taken directly yata sa isang sample question from a previous civil service exam item. So divisible by 5, then it is divisible by something. So yung premise mo, if a number is divisible by something, tapos yung conclusion mo, then it is divisible by something else. Pareho yung format in all choices, right? Now take a look at your numbers. 5 and 10. A smaller number and a larger number. 10 and 5. Larger, smaller. And then the succeeding ones are also smaller, larger, right? So it kind of gives you the idea that 2 is your correct answer. Especially since your number 1 and number 2 are very, very similar, baligtad lang yung pagkaka-phrase. The correct answer here is indeed 2. Ano ba ibig sabihin niya? Pag ang number ba divisible sa 10, divisible din siya sa 5? Let's try. The easiest way to answer this is to give an example. For example, ano ba yung number na divisible by 10? Pwede kang magsabi ng 10 or 20, 30, di ba? Yun ang divisible by 10. So let's try 20. 20 is divisible by 10. Is it divisible by 5? Yes, it is. So that's your answer. That is the true statement there. Okay, now, to help us further, kasi baka po nakakalimot tayo ng ibang divisibility rules natin. Ayan, yes, yung kay JC na answer dito. Let us recall your divisibility rules. Ayan po. Let me make this just a little bit larger. Ano po yung divisibility rules natin? So a number is divisible by 2 if the last digit is even. So for example, 2, 4, 6, 8. Ano po ba yung even? Yun yung mga divisible by 2. The digit ends with 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0. Yung odd po is yung 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Yung 3 daw, divisible siya if pag i-add mo yung digits, divisible din siya by 3. Yung 4 naman, the number represented by its last 2 digits is divisible by 4, and then the last digit is 00 or 05. Ayan. So let's have those numbers. Let's try, why don't we try 1024. Ayan, let's try that. Is this divisible by 2? The last digit is even daw. So the last digit is even. Your last digit here is 4. Is it even? Yes, it is. So it's divisible by 2. Next, the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. Pag i-add ko ba yung digits niya, 3 ba yung answer? So 1 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4. That's 1 plus 0, 1 plus 2, that's 3 plus 4, that's 7. So, is it divisible by 3? Hindi na. So it's not divisible by 3. Next, number 4. The number represented by its last 2 digits is divisible by 4. So ano ba yung last 2 digits mo? Yung last 2 digits mo is 24. Is 24 divisible by ano? Sorry. Is 24 divisible by 4? So, divisible siya by 4, yes. Ayan. So, sa mga nagtatanong po if i-upload ito after na live, it's available po sa Facebook page natin. Hindi naman po siya nawawala dyan. Next is the last digit is 0 or 5. So, sa 5, it's 4 eh. So, it's not. And then, let's try sa number 6. The number is divisible by 2 and 3. So, is it divisible by 2? Yes, na-check na natin niya kanina. But is it divisible by 3? No. So therefore, hindi siya divisible by 6. Okay. Number 7, remove the last digit, double it, subtract it from the leftover number. The result is divisible by 7. So 1024, kung kaya mo siyang mag-long division by 7, gawin mo. If not, you can apply this rule. It's a little bit tricky nga lang. So, usually what I do is, kung 7, I just try to divide directly. Kasi mas nahihirapan akong i-memorize. Marami pong different rules for divisibility of 7. Ayan. So, remove the last digit. For example, yung last digit dito is 4. I-double mo siya, tsaka i-subtract sa leftover number. And then ulit-ulitin mo daw siya. So, is it divisible by 4? 7, 32. Is it divisible by 4? Yes or no po? Try natin yung 7. So, yung number 7, if you try to apply it, apply ko lang po yung rule ha. So, I have 1024. Remove yung last digit, that's 8. And then, isubtract natin siya. That gives us 96. 1024 minus 8. 94 na lang siya. So, is 94 divisible by 7? Yes pala siya. Yes, divisible by 7 na siya. Hindi pa rin pala, hindi. It's not divisible by 7. Ayan. So, number 8, the number represents last 3 digits is divisible by 8. Your last 3 digit is 0, 2, 4. Yes, divisible by 8 siya. 24 is divisible by 8. Finally, divisible ba siya sa 9? Add natin. Nagawa na po natin yan kanina. The sum of the digits is 7. So, it's not divisible by 9. And then finally, the last digit is 0. Obviously not. It's 4. So, yan lang naman po yung rules of divisibility. It would help you if you can remember these rules when you're actually doing your examination. Some of these rules, yung pinaka-common po natin ginagamit would be yung 2, 3, and then yung, yun lang naman, 5 and 10. Yung rules po kasi ng 6, apply nyo lang yung 2 and 3. Yung rule po ng, ito rin po, try nyo rin po yung 4 and 8. Madali lang naman siya. Similar lang naman silang tatlo. Yung 2, 4, and 8, similar lang silang tatlo. Yung number of digits lang. So please familiarize po yung divisibility rule if you can. Mahaba-haba pa naman po yung review natin. You can still probably memorize or familiarize. Ayan. Let's try item number 88 po. Good evening po ulit sa mga kaka-join lang. Please do tell others po na mga kilala ninyong kukuha po ng LET or ng Civil Service Examination. Please invite them here, tag them, ask them to like and subscribe to the page para naman po they get updated whenever we have some news on the LET and the CSE, and also to be a part of the review groups para po they have access to all of our data. So, thank you rin po. Ayan, sa mga nakapasa po ulit, congratulations po. Papaabot po natin kay Ma'am Mek yung pasasalamat natin. Ayan. So, item number 88. Ayan, ano po ba yung answer natin dito? Oh, I'm receiving different answers, I think. Okay. Sige. So, let's try this. How many degrees are there in the angle made by the hands of a clock? So, maybe we can review first yung degree natin, right? Sorry. So, okay. Ayan, if you have your initial, let's start with this one. Let's have your initial angle there. Alam po natin that this one is 90 degrees. Tama po? 90 degrees siya. Tapos if you get yung kalahati pa po niyan, di ba that's 45? If you get naman po yung straight line, a straight line is, ilan po yung measure niya? It's going to be 180 degrees. Tapos if you get naman yung isa pa pong line dito sa baba, this is going to be 270 degrees. Tapos kung kukunin niyo po yung full circle, it's going to be 360 degrees. Ano po? So how do you solve this one? So you just want to see how many degrees are there in the angle made of hands of a clock at 4 o'clock. So ano po ba yung tsura ng 4 o'clock? So you would have one hand here, di ba nasa 12 po? Ay, sorry. So, isa nasa 12. Tapos isa parang slightly nandito siya. Yung shorter hand mo, nasa 4. May 5 ka pa dito. Let me adjust. Parang tabingi siya. Ayan. So, meron kang 4 dito, may 5, may 6, tapos 3 yan dyan. Right? So, how to answer this one? There are various ways to answer this, but one that works for me is ratio and proportion. So, ano po ba yung hands ng clock? Yung isang clock po is, di ba, that's one full circle. So, it means that you have ilang, yung hands ng clock po, ilan po ba yung numbers dyan? Di ba, 12? So, 1 to 12 po yan, right? So, 12 po siya, tapos 4 o'clock yung hinahanap natin. So, we are looking for, eto lang yung hinahanap natin. Eto lang. Kung kukumpletuhin natin to dito, hanggang 12 po yan. So, we are just looking for 4 out of 12. Right? And then, let's take a look at your degrees. Ano ba yung degrees? Yung degrees ng full ay 360. So, counterpart siya ng 12. Yung degrees ng 4 lang, yun yung hinahanap natin. Right? So, what I would do is, I would simply employ certain methods like divide, and then multiply the answer here, and you will get 120 degrees. So, the correct answer is 2. Ayan. Marami po sa atin yung nakakuha ng correct answer dito. Yung 20 degrees are po, that's too small. Kasi 1 to 12. Sobra ka na dapat doon sa may 90 degrees. Kasi yung ganito, 90 na eh. So, magdadagdag ka pa ng something. Magdadagdag ka pa ng 30. Ayan. Sige. Review po muna natin. This one involves ratio and proportion. So, let's review muna first yung ratio and proportion natin. So, when we talk of ratio and proportion, ratio is an ordered pair of numbers, A and B. Ayan. So, A and B, for example, there are 2 boys to every 3 girls in the classroom. So, how do you write this? 2 is to 3. Or you can also write this 2 over 3. Ayan siya. So, hindi pwedeng mag-0 yung isa kasi bawal yung 0 na denominator, right? Proportion naman is something that involves 2 ratios. Ayan siya usually. Okay? So, let's not delve too deep on that. Let's just move on to the example para mas tayo. Ayan. So, let's try a few items here. 6 is to 15 as 36 is to blank. Can you try answering the following? This is A, B, and C. Please type in your answers here. So I'll start with the first one. 6 is to 5 as 36 is to blank. Sometimes po yung sa numerical reasoning may mga ganitong type ng phrasing ng question. I think there were some years. I think nung time namin may mga ganitong type ng question na lumabas. Ratio and proportion. Okay, let's try this one first. So you have 6 is to 15 as 36 is to blank. So you can have, pwede mo siyang ratio form na 6 tapos pwede kang mag 6 is to 15. Pwede rin naman yan siya na 6 over 15. So what you can do here is, let's do the fraction 1 kasi we're comparing. So 6 is to 15 as 36 is to blank. Last exam, Not sure po. Kasi hindi ko pa po nakita yung actual item sa last exam. Pero hindi naman kasi siya very specific eh. Sometimes lumalabas siya, sometimes hindi. So, you still can't predict if mangyayari siya. So, what happens here is, if you're crossing over, doon sa may equal sign, divide po tayo. So, mag-divide tayo, we get 6. Tapos, multiply natin dito, you get 90. Ayan. Let's try item number 2. 0.30 is to 0.75 as 0.15 is to blank. Burn na ba ako dito? Okay. So, this is 0.30 is to 0.75 as 0.15 is to blank. So actually, yung pattern po na nakikita ko dito, ito po oh. Pag i-divide mo to, di ba 2 yung nakukuha? So, yung ginawa ko is, ano yung gagawin ko na pag nag-divide ako dito, dapat 2 rin yung answer. So, ano yung nandito? So, ginawa ko, nag-divide din ako ng 0.75. Dinivide ko rin siya sa 2. And I also got the same answer as others here, which is 0.375. Ayan. And let's try your letter C. Proportion ba yung 4/5 tsaka 8/10? If you can express them as the same fraction, in this case po, it is, tama naman, di ba? So, 4/5, is it equal to 8/10? Yes. If you multiply 2, equal po siya. Okay. Ayan. So, some concepts lang po yan. As we go along in our review, we will have more of those items. So, you could apply that option here. Ayan. It will give you the same answer. Ano nga ba yung answer natin? Let's say 88. It was 2. Ayan. 2 po tayo sa 88. Okay. Let's move on na po dito sa 89. It says ratio, pero yung pag-solve ko po dito, I personally used algebra po to solve this one kasi yun yung mabilis for me at that point. Usually when you try to solve mathematical problems, please don't expect na yung solving ko po ay exactly the same sa solving ninyo, because when you try to solve mathematical problems, there are always many different options. There are always various ways to solve a problem. And sometimes our techniques vary also. We may have different experiences, different knowledge, and so expect that our techniques will not be the same. So what I'm doing here is I would try to expose you to as much various techniques as possible until you can find something that works for you, right? And whichever gives you the best option. So sometimes, yung fastest solution, hindi ka comfortable or hindi ka sanay, so you will not use it. The important thing is, doon ka sa alam mong kaya mo, alam mong naiintindihan mo, and then you could do it as fast as you can, di ba? So what's fast for me may not be fast for you. Or what's good for you, yung saan ka mabilis, hindi ako mabilis doon. So I have a different method, something like that. Don't expect na kung ano yung ginagawa kong method is exactly the same as yours. It's okay. As long as we have the same correct answer, it's okay to differ. Yung goal lang natin is hanapin yung alin sana yung pinakamabilis tayo. Ano po? Okay, number 89. Medyo tricky po ito. Number 89 is a tricky question. I think if you try to have various methods in number 89, possible po kasi na iba-iba yung makuha nating solution. Or possible pa kasi na yung isang method ninyo, yung answer nandoon sa choices. So pag nakita nyo yung option na yun nandoon, assume nyo na yun na yun. But sometimes it's not. Right? So ayan po. Usually po, 40 items, I believe. Yung sa civil service examination, 40 items siya. I think in our time, it was different. We have more items per different section. So yan po, technique din po ninyo in civil service examination, look for the method that works best for you. If masyadong mahaba, skip. Balikan nyo na lang later kasi marami pa po kayong sasagutan. And sometimes wala na po kayong time. So, Ayan. Wow, maraming sumasagot sa 225. Mali po yan. Sige, let's try this. Okay. I have a slightly different method here than others perhaps. Hindi po siya 225. Ayan. Sige, try natin ha. So for item number 89, the area of a rectangular field is 9,000 and then you have a length ratio of the width is 5:8. So let's break down lang muna yung problem. You have an area here na 9,000. That's the area, square meters. And then you have the width to the length. So this is width and this is length, naka-ratio siya. Okay. So, before we do that, balik muna tayo dun sa may word problems natin that involves dimension. Pag sinabi pong perimeter, you are just going around the figure, right? So, solid po na line around. Palibot lang po. Pag sinabi po nating area, the total shaded area inside the region. Ano po? So, let's review first some of our equations para lang we're on the same page. So, when you have square, you usually have four sides there, right? So, equal lang naman yan sila. So, if you get the perimeter of a square, i-add mo lang naman yung lahat ng sides. So, since equal lahat ng sides, then the perimeter here is simply 4S. Ayan. But what if you have say, rectangle? Yung rectangle mo has two dimensions. You have your length and then your width. Another length, another width. Right? So, the perimeter here will be 2L, dalawang length, mag-add ka ng dalawang width, or pwede ring 2 times L plus W. While yung circle natin, which is the more common, ito yung 3 na most common na ginagamit ng mga figures. Yung circle naman natin is, what you have is the measurement from the center to the edge. That's your radius. So, your equation for your perimeter, also known as the circumference. Yung perimeter ng circle is known as your circumference. That's 2 pi r. Right. Now, let's move on po doon sa may area. Para lang po ma-recall natin. Yung area po ng square ay, the area is S squared. You're trying to multiply two different sides, pero pareho sila. Yung area po ng rectangle ay length times width, while ang area po ng circle ay pi r squared. So, usually may sin-square ka or may na-multiply ka na dimensions. So, please take note. Recall lang po natin yung mga dimension problems natin. So, in 89, the area of a rectangular field is 9,000 square meters if the ratio of the width to the length is 5:8. What is the length of the rectangular field in meters? So, given ulit. Your area is 9,000 square meters. Ano po ba yung area, right? And then your length, width to length is 5:8. So, yung area po natin, ano nga po yung equation ng area natin? Your area is 9,000. And yung equation po ng area is length is to width, right? Now, let us look here for your item. 5:8 yung ating ratio. So, ibig sabihin, pag may width ka na 5, yung iyong length is 8. So, you can express this as, let's revise this. Sandali, let me revise this po. So, yung area mo is length times width. Yung length natin is 8. And then yung width natin is 5. Ibig sabihin yon, if you have a length of, or if you have a width of 5, your length is 8. If you have a width of 10, then your length is 16. If you have a width of 15, that's times 3, then your length times 3 is 24, right? So, ibig sabihin, you're multiplying the same number to both of the dimensions to get your area because they have the same ratio, right? So, what happens here is, you're multiplying the same number to the 5 and the 8 to get that. So, your length here is, ano ba yung length natin? 5:8, no? This is width is to length. So, your length here is, you're multiplying the same number. Let me rewrite that. Let me rewrite this. You have 5:8 is equal to width is to length. So para maging equal sila, you should be multiplying the same number to them. Dapat kung i-divide mo sila, you get the same number. And what is that same number? We don't know yet. That's your x. Kung mag-divide ka dapat you get your x. If you divide here, you get x. So what's your width? In short, your length here, your width is 5x and your length